You know that moment when you're brushing your hair and you notice something's different? Maybe more strands in the drain than usual. Or your hair feels thinner, less full, less like yours. If you're in your 40s, 50s, or beyond, you're not alone. Something is happening to your hair, and honestly, nobody really talks about it. But here's the thing. What you're experiencing isn't random. It's not a sign that you're getting old in some sad way. It's actually your body going through one of the most significant hormonal transitions of your life. And the good news? There are real solutions, real styling techniques, and real strategies that can help you feel like yourself again. Today, we're talking about the one thing most creators avoid: the truth about menopause and your hair. Let's dive in. Number 1. Understanding the hormonal connection. Let's start with the science, because understanding what's happening inside your body is the first step toward accepting and managing what's happening on top of your head. During perimenopause and menopause, your estrogen levels don't just drop a little, they drop dramatically. We're talking about a shift that affects virtually every system in your body, and your hair is incredibly sensitive to these changes. Estrogen is like a growth hormone for your hair. It keeps your hair in the active growth phase, called the anagen phase, for a longer period of time. When estrogen levels are healthy, your hair stays strong, thick, and resilient for years. But when estrogen declines, something shifts. Your hair spends less time growing and more time in the resting phase. This means more hair falls out, and the new hair that grows in is often finer, shorter, and less pigmented. You might notice your hair feels different to the touch, less shiny, more prone to breakage, maybe even a bit wiry or coarse in some areas. This isn't your imagination. This is real biology. At the same time, another hormone called DHT, or dihydrotestosterone, becomes more dominant when estrogen drops. DHT can actually shrink hair follicles in a process called miniaturization. This is why you might see not just hair loss, but also a change in the thickness of each individual strand. Your hair becomes more delicate. Some women describe it as their hair losing its body. Another factor that often gets overlooked is thyroid function. During menopause, thyroid disorders become more common, and thyroid health directly impacts hair growth. If your thyroid isn't functioning optimally, your hair suffers. It's like your entire endocrine system is recalibrating, and your hair is one of the first places you see the effects. But here's what's important to understand. This is temporary. Your body isn't broken. This is a natural transition, and once you understand what's happening, you can work with your body instead of against it. Many women feel ashamed or shocked when their hair changes. They think something is wrong with them. But the truth is, your hair is simply responding to a major life transition. The women who handle this best are the ones who educate themselves, adjust their approach, and give themselves grace during the process. You're not losing your femininity. You're not becoming less attractive. You're going through a profound biological change, and your hair is part of that conversation. Understanding this foundation is crucial because it changes everything about how you approach solutions. Number 2. Hairstyles that transform thinning hair. Now let's talk about something practical that can change your life almost immediately: the right haircut and style. Your hair might be changing, but that doesn't mean you can't look absolutely beautiful. In fact, some of the most stunning hairstyles work exceptionally well when you're working with finer, thinner hair. The key is understanding that volume comes from cut, not just thickness. A good stylist who understands thinning hair will use techniques like point cutting and texturizing to create the illusion of density without making your hair look choppy or thin. Think about this. When hair is very long and thin, gravity pulls it down, and it looks even thinner. But when you add strategic layers and texture, you create movement and the appearance of fullness. Shorter styles, particularly bobs and pixies, can be incredibly flattering during menopause. A shoulder-length cut with lots of layers can give you movement and dimension. The layers create peaks and valleys that catch light differently, making your hair appear thicker and more voluminous. Blunt bangs are having a moment, and they work beautifully for thinning hair because they create a visual density at the front of your face. Texture is your friend. Instead of a sleek, straight style that emphasizes thinness, consider adding waves, curls, or a tousled texture. A permanent wave or a good styling routine with a curling iron can completely transform how full your hair appears. The curl itself takes up more space, and that space equals the illusion of volume. Color strategies matter too. Lighter, brighter colors and strategic highlights can create dimension and make hair appear thicker. A balayage or highlights can give the impression of density because the eye is drawn to the lighter pieces, creating visual fullness. If you're interested in darker tones, adding subtle highlights or lowlights still creates that dimension. Your part line also makes a difference. If you've always parted your hair on the same side, try switching it. This gives the roots a chance to stand up differently, and it can instantly create more volume at the crown. Some women find that a deeper side part, or even a zigzag part, creates more visual fullness. Styling products are crucial during this phase of life. A volumizing mousse applied to damp hair at the roots, before blow-drying, can add lift and texture. A dry shampoo or texturizing spray can add grip and volume between washes. Some women swear by silk pillowcases because they create less friction, meaning less breakage and less frizz, which actually makes thin hair look better. And here's something many women don't realize. The way you blow-dry your hair matters tremendously. If you blow-dry your hair flat against your scalp, it will look thinner. But if you flip your head upside down and blow-dry with your roots lifted, you create volume that lasts through the day. Styling doesn't have to mean spending hours in front of the mirror. It means making strategic choices that work with your hair's new reality, not against it. The goal is to feel confident, to feel like yourself, and to enjoy how you look. Number 3. Supplements, nutrients, and products that actually work. Let's talk about what you can do from the inside out. Your hair health during menopause isn't just about styling. It's about nourishing your body and your hair follicles with the nutrients they need to thrive. This is where supplementation becomes really valuable. Biotin is probably the most well-known supplement for hair health, and there's actually science behind it. Biotin is a B vitamin that supports keratin production, and keratin is literally what your hair is made of. Studies show that biotin supplementation can improve hair thickness and reduce hair loss, particularly in people with biotin deficiency. The typical dose is between 2.5 to 5 milligrams daily. Iron is another crucial nutrient that many women overlook, especially if they're postmenopausal. Iron deficiency is linked to hair loss, and many women develop iron deficiencies as they age. Getting your iron levels checked is a smart first step. If you're deficient, supplementing with iron can genuinely help. Zinc supports hair growth and immune function, and many women are deficient in zinc. A daily zinc supplement, typically 15 to 30 milligrams, can support healthy hair growth. Vitamin D is essential for bone health, immune function, and hair follicle cycling. Many women, particularly those in northern climates or who spend a lot of time indoors, are deficient in vitamin D. Taking 1,000 to 2,000 IU daily can support overall health, including hair health. Collagen peptides are increasingly popular, and there's growing research suggesting that collagen supplementation can improve hair thickness and texture. Collagen provides amino acids that support keratin production. Many women add collagen to their morning coffee or smoothies. The typical dose is 10 to 20 grams daily. Omega-3 fatty acids support scalp health and hair follicle function. Whether you get these from fish oil, flaxseed, or chia seeds, omega-3s are important for reducing inflammation and supporting healthy hair growth. Additionally, adaptogens like ashwagandha and rhodiola can help manage stress, which is significant because stress is a major trigger for hair loss. When your cortisol levels are elevated, your hair suffers. Managing stress through supplements and other techniques can help. When it comes to topical products, look for shampoos and conditioners specifically formulated for thinning hair or mature hair. These products are typically lighter and won't weigh down fine hair. Ingredients like caffeine, niacinamide, and peptides are included in many volumizing products and actually have some research supporting their effectiveness. Scalp treatments and serums designed to stimulate blood flow to the scalp can be helpful. These might include ingredients like ginger, peppermint, or red pepper. Better blood flow to the scalp means better nutrient delivery to your hair follicles. Hair masks and deep conditioning treatments become more important during menopause because your hair is often drier. Using a moisturizing mask once or twice weekly can improve texture and reduce breakage. And if you're open to it, some women find that minoxidil, which is available over the counter as Rogaine, can help slow hair loss and promote regrowth. It's not a miracle cure, but it can be effective, particularly when combined with other strategies. The key with all of these approaches is consistency. You're not going to see results in 2 weeks. Hair growth is slow. Most people see noticeable improvement after 8 to 12 weeks of consistent use. But the women who stick with it, who combine supplements, good nutrition, proper styling, and patience, often see really impressive results. Your hair wants to be healthy. You're just giving it the support it needs. Number 4. Styling techniques that create instant thickness. Okay, so we've talked about cuts, we've talked about nourishment, and now let's talk about the techniques you can use every single day to make your hair look and feel thicker. These are practical, doable strategies that don't require a lot of time or complicated equipment. First, let's talk about blow drying. Most people blow dry their hair in a rush, and their hair looks thinner because of it. But when you take time to blow dry strategically, you can completely transform your appearance. Start with your hair damp, not soaking wet. Apply a volumizing mousse or root lifting spray to your roots. Then here's the key. Flip your head upside down and blow dry your roots first. This forces the hair to stand away from your scalp, creating volume at the base. Once your roots are mostly dry, flip back upright and finish drying the lengths. As you're finishing, you can use a round brush to create some body and movement. The entire process might take 10 or 15 minutes, but the results are dramatic. Second, use a root lifting product or dry shampoo strategically. Even if your hair isn't dirty, a dry shampoo at the roots adds texture and grip, making your hair look fuller. Apply it to your part line and roots, let it sit for a minute, then brush through. It's like instant volume. Third, styling techniques like braids and twists can be your best friends. A loose braid or a side twist doesn't just look pretty. It actually creates the illusion of fullness because the braid or twist takes up space. Even if you're not someone who usually wears braids, trying a loose Dutch braid or a half-up style can make a real difference. Curling your hair, whether with a curling iron or by braiding damp hair overnight, creates volume. The curl itself means your hair takes up more physical space, so it looks thicker. Even loose waves created with a curling iron can make a significant difference. And here's something specific. Focus your curls and texture at the crown and top layers. This is where fullness matters most visually. Your underneath layers don't need as much texture. Fourth, let's talk about hair extensions. Now this might sound like a big step, but many women going through menopause find that clip-in extensions, which you can apply yourself at home, are genuinely transformative. Clip-in extensions add volume and length without commitment. You can use them on days when you want to feel extra confident, and take them off when you're at home. They're not permanent, so there's no damage to your hair. Some women use them strategically, maybe just in the crown area to add volume where it's most noticeable. Fifth, your styling routine matters. Don't use products that are too heavy. Heavy serums and oils can weigh down thin hair. Instead, use lightweight leave-in conditioners, lightweight mousses, and volumizing sprays. The goal is to support your hair without weighing it down. And finally, let's talk about how you treat your hair when it's wet or damp. Don't roughly towel dry your hair. Instead, gently squeeze water out with a microfiber towel or an old t-shirt. Rough towel drying causes breakage, and when your hair is already fragile, breakage is the last thing you want. Treat your hair gently, like it's delicate, because during this phase of life, it is. These techniques combined, the blow drying, the products, the styling choices, the gentle handling, these create real, visible fullness. And here's the beautiful part. Once you develop these habits, they become automatic. You're not spending hours every day on your hair. You're just being intentional about how you approach it. Number 5, real stories, real solutions, and moving forward. The most important part of this conversation is understanding that what you're experiencing is completely normal, incredibly common, and absolutely manageable. You're not alone. Millions of women are going through this, and the fact that it's not talked about openly doesn't mean it's not real, or that solutions don't exist. Let me tell you about some real scenarios. Sarah is 52. She noticed her hair thinning about 3 years ago, and it made her feel invisible. She stopped taking selfies. She avoided going out without doing her hair. But then she made some changes. She got a really good layered bob with lots of texture. She started taking biotin and collagen supplements consistently. She switched to a volumizing shampoo and conditioner. And she learned how to blow-dry her hair properly. Within 3 months, she felt like herself again. Not because her hair was exactly like it was at 30, but because she'd learned to work with her hair's new reality and to enhance what she had. Michael's wife Jennifer experienced significant hair loss during perimenopause. It scared her. But when she got her thyroid checked, she discovered she had a thyroid imbalance. Addressing the thyroid issue, combined with some styling changes and supplements, made a real difference. This is why getting a full health assessment is so important. Sometimes hair loss is pointing to something else that needs attention. Another woman, Patricia, is 61. She decided to lean into texture and embrace waves and curls instead of fighting them. She uses a lightweight curl cream and a diffuser attachment on her blow dryer. Her hair looks fuller, more youthful, and more vibrant than it did when she was trying to straighten it and make it sleek. The change in her mindset, from fighting her hair to working with it, made all the difference. Here's what these stories have in common. Each woman made intentional choices. They didn't just accept that their hair had to get worse. They didn't panic. They educated themselves, they tried new things, and they found solutions that worked for them. And this is what I want you to take away from this conversation. Your hair is changing, yes. But that change doesn't mean your beauty is diminishing. It means you get to be creative, intentional, and strategic about how you present yourself. This is actually an opportunity to experiment with new cuts, new colors, new styles that you might not have tried before. Some of the most beautiful women you'll ever see are women who've embraced this phase of life and made intentional choices about how they want to look and feel. You're not fighting against aging. You're honoring a profound transition your body is going through and choosing to feel beautiful and confident through it. Hair is one piece of that puzzle. It matters, but it's not everything. What matters most is how you feel about yourself. When you take care of your hair, when you nourish your body, when you make intentional styling choices, you're not just improving your appearance. You're sending yourself a message that you're worth caring for. You're worth the time, the effort, and the investment. That is the real truth that nobody talks about. So here's what we've covered today. The science of why your hair changes during menopause, the hairstyles and cuts that work beautifully with thinning hair, the supplements and nutrients that actually support hair health, the daily styling techniques that create instant fullness, and the real stories of women who've navigated this transition with grace and confidence. Most importantly, we've talked about the truth that nobody mentions. This is normal, it's manageable, and you're absolutely beautiful through this change. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path. We're here for every season of your life.